Your baby can't talk. They definitely can't sit in front of you and tell you what they're feeling. But here's the thing most parents never realize. Your baby is talking to you every single day. And how you answer that silent language will shape who they become for the rest of their life. Today, we're going to talk about 6 acts of love. 6 specific things your baby is quietly hoping you'll give them. Not toys, not a beautifully done nursery, not even the most expensive pram in the shop. Something much more powerful than any of that. And here's what makes this even more amazing. Science has now proven what babies have been trying to show us all along. These 6 acts don't just make your baby feel good right now. They actually build the brain, shape the nervous system, and set the ground for how your child will love, trust, and connect with people for the rest of their life. Stay with me, because by the time this video ends, you're going to see your baby and your job as a parent in a completely new way. And I promise you, that change is going to mean everything. Let's begin with something that sounds almost too easy. Something you probably already do without even thinking. But the science behind it will genuinely stop you cold. Act number 1, touch. When you hold your baby close, when you press their little body against your chest and they feel the warmth of your skin, something incredible happens inside them. Their brain sends out a rush of oxytocin, which people often call the love hormone. Their cortisol levels, that's the stress hormone, start to go down. Their heart rate slows. Their breathing becomes steady. Their tiny hands, so often squeezed tight from the overwhelm of being brand new in this world, slowly open up. In that moment, your baby's whole nervous system is saying something it will spend a lifetime searching for. I'm safe. I'm loved. Everything is okay. But here's the part that surprises most people. This isn't just comfort. This is actual construction. Touch in the early months of a baby's life isn't optional. It's brain fuel. Research from the University of California found that premature babies who were held and gently massaged for just 15 minutes a day gained weight 47% faster than babies who weren't touched. They also went home from the hospital nearly a week earlier. Not because of medicine, not because of any special treatment, simply because of human hands. Simply because of warmth. Now think about what that means for your full-term baby at home. Every time you pick them up when they cry, every time you carry them close, every time you stroke their cheek or hold their tiny hand, you're not spoiling them. You're building them. Slowly and surely, you're helping build a nervous system that knows how to feel safe in this world. What most parents don't know is that the fear of holding your baby too much is one of the most harmful myths in parenting. It's been passed from one generation to the next like it's a fact, and it simply isn't true. Your baby cannot be held too much. In the first year of life, being close to you is how your baby learns to handle their own feelings. It's how they build what experts call a window of tolerance, the ability to feel stress without being swallowed by it, the ability to feel big feelings and find their way back to calm. And that ability will stay with them through every hard moment they'll ever face in their life. So the next time someone tells you you're going to spoil your baby by holding them too much, just smile, pull your baby a little closer, and know you're doing exactly what their brain is asking for. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Act number 2, eye contact. Your baby came into this world with one very specific ability to see. In the first days of life, the clearest thing a newborn can focus on is a human face at exactly 8 to 12 inches away. That's precisely the distance between your arms and your eyes when you're holding them. That's not a coincidence. That's nature leaving you a message written right into biology. Look at your baby. Really look. When you look into your baby's eyes and they look back, when that soft, searching gaze connects, something magical and completely measurable takes place. Scientists at Cambridge University discovered that when a parent and baby make eye contact, their brainwaves actually sync up. They fall into the same rhythm. Like 2 instruments finding the same tune without a single note being played. In that quiet moment of looking, parent and child become one. And this matters more than we ever thought. Because through your eyes, your baby learns something no book can ever teach them. I exist. I am seen. I matter. That feeling, the feeling of truly being seen by someone who loves you, is one of the deepest things a human being needs. It doesn't start in the teenage years. It doesn't start at school. It starts right here, in these early wordless moments of locked eyes between you and your child. But it gets even more interesting. Researchers found that babies who get warm, regular eye contact with the people who care for them go on to develop stronger language skills, deeper empathy, and more secure attachment than babies who don't. Not because their parents read more books or enrolled them in more classes. Simply because they looked, consistently, warmly, and with love. This is one of the quietest, most powerful gifts you can give your child. Put your phone down. Look at your baby. Let them see your face, your smile, your wonder, the way your eyes go soft when you see them. Because right now, your face is their entire world. And when they look at you and see happiness looking back, they learn something that will shape every single relationship they'll ever have. I deserve love just by being here. Act number 3, your voice. Here's something that'll genuinely surprise you. Researchers at Stanford University found that babies start recognizing their mother's voice while still inside the womb, as early as 28 weeks into pregnancy. By the time your baby is born, your voice is the most familiar sound in their entire world. It's not just a sound. It's home. It's safety. It's the first love song they've ever heard. And yet so many parents go quiet around their babies. They feel a bit silly talking out loud to someone who can't talk back. They second-guess themselves. They worry about saying the wrong thing. But what most parents don't realize is that your baby doesn't need perfect words. They don't need prepared speeches or audio learning programs or carefully chosen vocabulary lists. They need you, your real voice, your laugh, your gentle, imperfect, everyday commentary on the world around them. Oh, look at that light coming through the window. Isn't that nice? I'm going to change your nappy now. I know you don't like this part. There we go. Nearly done. See, all fresh. That, right there. That quiet, simple, everyday moment of talking to your baby is one of the most powerful things science says you can do for their growing brain. Every word you say is building new connections. Every sentence is laying the foundation for language, for emotional understanding, for their future ability to name their feelings and connect with other people. Studies have shown that children who were talked to often and warmly in their first 3 years had, by age 3, heard 30 million more words than children who weren't spoken to as much. 30 million. And that gap, known as the 30 million word gap, predicted reading ability, school success, and emotional control years later. Not the expensive nursery school. Not the flashcards. The voice. The ordinary, caring, daily voice of a parent who talked to their baby like they mattered. Because they do. And they're always listening. They've always been listening. If this is touching something in you, if you feel that quiet shift that comes from learning something true and important about the people you love most, think about subscribing to this channel. We talk about baby psychology, early development, and the deep science of connection every single week. Because parenting is the most important thing most of us will ever do. And you deserve honest, real, science-based information to help you do it well. Now let's keep going, because the next 3 acts are where things get truly deep. Act number 4, responding to their cries. I know, this one is hard, especially at 3 in the morning. Especially on day 11 of broken sleep, when you've tried everything and nothing's working, and you're sitting on the edge of the bed wondering if you're somehow getting all of this wrong. But stay with me, because what I'm about to share might be the single most important thing in this entire video. When your baby cries and you respond, when you go to them, when you pick them up, when you sit close and try to figure out what they need, you're teaching them one of the most basic truths about being human. When I'm hurting, help will come. That might sound simple, but think about how many grown adults move through life carrying the opposite belief, that when they struggle, nobody will come, that their needs are too much, that they have to handle everything on their own and never show the parts of them that are hurting. So many of those beliefs, deep, quiet, powerful, were formed in the very first year of life, in those small repeated moments when a cry was either answered or wasn't. John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, spent his whole career studying exactly this. He found that a baby's sense of safety, their ability to build trusting relationships, their strength when things get hard, their future ability to ask for help without feeling ashamed, all of it traces back to one surprisingly simple pattern. Consistent, loving responses to distress. Here's the part one really want you to hear. You don't have to be perfect. Research shows that responding to your baby's needs around 50% of the time, with warmth and genuine effort, is enough to build secure attachment. You don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to never lose your patience. You just have to keep showing up. You just have to keep trying. So when your baby cries tonight, even if you're exhausted, even if you don't know what they need, even if you can't fix it, the act of coming is the message. The act of trying, of being there, of not walking away, that tells your baby something they'll carry in their bones for the rest of their life. You're not alone in this world. And I promise you, there is nothing more important a person can ever learn than that. Act number 5, play and joy. This one might catch you off guard, because we don't usually think of play as something serious, something that belongs in a conversation about brain science and attachment and development. But here's the truth. Play is the most serious work of childhood. And the joy you share with your baby isn't a nice extra, it's a real need. When you pull a funny face and your baby bursts into that full-body laugh, when you blow raspberries on their tummy and they squeal with a joy so pure it almost makes your heart ache with how beautiful it is, when you play peekaboo, that old, simple game that parents in every culture and every corner of the world naturally discover on their own, you're doing something far deeper than just passing the time. You're teaching your baby that the world is a place full of wonder, that relationships bring joy and not just survival, that they can feel big feelings, excitement, surprise, delight, and come safely back to calm. That emotional movement, that ability to rise into a feeling and return to peace, is one of the building blocks of emotional self-control. And emotional self-control is one of the strongest predictors of a happy life we've ever found. But it gets even more interesting. Neuroscientist Jake Panksepp, who spent his life mapping the emotional brain, identified play as one of the 7 core emotional systems all mammals share. When babies play, their brains light up in ways that straight learning simply can't match. Dopamine fills the system. Brain connections form and grow stronger at incredible speed. Creativity, curiosity, language, empathy, all of it grows from play. And what most parents don't realize is this. Your baby doesn't need fancy toys. They don't need spinning light projectors or high-stimulation gadgets or activity boxes delivered to your door. They need you, your playfulness, your willingness to be a little silly for a moment, your ability to set down the heaviness of your day and just be present in that shared moment of laughter. Those moments are being stored somewhere inside your baby. Not as memories they'll clearly recall, but as a felt sense of life, a knowing written into the body. Life is good. People are safe. I'm allowed to feel joy. And that felt sense will quietly shape every friendship they make, every relationship they choose, every moment of happiness they let themselves have for the rest of their life. And that brings us to the 6th and final act, the one that holds everything else together. Act number 6, consistency. Not perfection, not being available every second of every day, not giving so much of yourself that there's nothing left. Just consistency. Just showing up again and again in all the ordinary, imperfect ways that love actually looks. Your baby's brain, from the very first days of life, is a prediction machine. It's always working to understand the world, to find patterns, to figure out what causes what, to answer the most urgent question it'll ever ask. Can I count on the people who love me? Every time you show up, not perfectly, but reliably, you answer that question. Every time you come back after being away. Every time you repair after a hard moment. Every time you say, I'm sorry, that was too much for me, and I love you. You write that answer more deeply into their understanding of what love is. You build what child development experts call a secure base. A feeling inside your child, a sense of safety, from which they can one day turn around and face the world. The research on this is clear. Children with secure attachment, children who had consistent, loving caregivers in their earliest years, grow into adults who are more emotionally strong, more caring, better at handling stress, more likely to build healthy relationships, and even physically healthier across their whole lives. The effects of early, consistent love don't fade. They spread outward through decades, through generations. But here's the most beautiful part of all. You don't have to be the parent who never raises their voice. You don't have to be the parent who always finds the right words. You don't have to be the parent who gets it right every single time. You just have to be the parent who comes back, who repairs, who keeps choosing their child even on the hardest days, even when it's messy, even when you feel like you've got nothing left to give. That is the deepest act of love. That is the one your baby is hoping for more than anything else in this world. Not a perfect parent, but a parent who keeps showing up. So there you have it. 6 acts of love. Touch, eye contact, your voice, responding to their cries, play and joy, and consistency. None of these cost money. None of them need a certificate or a parenting book or the right piece of equipment. All of them need something far more valuable and far more available than any of that. Your presence, your attention, your willingness to truly see the little person in front of you for exactly what they are. A full human being, already fully feeling, already fully hoping, already reaching toward you with everything they have. There will be days when you feel like you're not doing enough. Days when you're too tired, too overwhelmed, too stretched to be the parent you want to be. On those days, I want you to remember this. Your baby doesn't need a perfect parent. They need you, showing up imperfectly and consistently, trying even when you're unsure, loving even when you're running on empty. The science is clear. The research all points the same way. But long before the research, before the scientists and the attachment experts and the long-term studies, babies already knew. And they've been trying to tell us all along. You are the most important thing in your baby's world. not the most impressive, not the most put together, the most important. What a privilege. What a weight. What an extraordinary, once-in-a-lifetime gift it is to be someone's everything right at the very start of everything. If this video moved something in you, share it with a parent who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment and tell me which of these 6 acts feels most meaningful to you. I read every single one, and I mean that. And until next time, hold them close. Look them in the eyes. Talk to them like they understand, because in every way that matters, they do. And never, ever underestimate the power of your love.